Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are going to be playing Chessformer, a game where it's basically chess with gravity, I think. As you can see, the image here, the pawn, the knight, the bishop are all on these like platforms, and when you move they fall down until they can't fall anymore, is what I believe it is. So we'll see how it goes. I haven't played one of these chess related games before on this channel. So yeah, I hope it'll be fun. Yeah, with that, let's get started with level 1. Alright, let's hit play, and we see the level select. We can do 1, 2, or 3. The other ones are locked. We'll just start with level 1, see how this goes. So we have a blue king and a red king. Can I click on it? No. This one? Oh yes. So the red is the opponent, I guess, and the blue is us. So, oh, interesting. Yeah, when we click on a square, we fall down because there's these platforms here. So I'm assuming our goal is gonna be to get to the red king. So here I can't go up, but I can go through here and then get to the red king like this. Nice. All right, level 2, we introduce the rook. So I'm assuming I just go here, fall down, go up here, and then down here, and I'll fall onto the king. Level 3, okay, bishop. Now right away I noticed that this is a dark square path and we have a light square bishop. So how is this gonna work? Oh, but it falls. In normal chess, bishops always stay on the same color that they start on. But in Chessformer, this is not the case, because when it falls, it can change color. So you would go here, fall onto this diagonal, and then get down here. And then you would want to, let's see, from here, you would want to be here, so you can get it. You can get the king. So I would go here, and then fall down, and get the king. That's a nice little twist, that bishops can change color. Alright, right away here, I see that the king can't get to the other king because it's gonna fall down in this gap. So we're gonna have to use the king like this as a stepping stool for the rook, so that the rook can get over this ledge and then put the rook down here and get the king. Nice little coordination by all the pieces. All right, here, let's see. I can get one of the bishops across to help the king like this because there's a gap here, right? So the king can't do it by itself because it can never cross this, gap. So we have to put the bishop here to help, and the king can get across like this. And then I guess we put the bishop here and move it up here like this. And then we get the king across like that. Nice. So we actually didn't need the two bishops. Well, I guess we did because we needed to put one bishop on top of it like that. But this bishop didn't actually help out like with the king. So yeah. With that, we beat level 5. Let's go ahead and move on to level 6. Level 6, it seems it's just a knight. Just introducing us to the platforms. It falls like this, and then we hop here. And then we can get here and then take the king. Nice. Level 7. Level 7 is 2 knights. Okay, so I'm assuming I need to get one of the knights here. Or else, why does this exist? So let's go knight here first. And then I can get this knight here. But how does that help? Maybe we don't get the knight there first. Hold on. Let's get both of these knights here. So this one can now get on top of here. And the knight can use this as a stepping stool? Yeah, but that doesn't help. What about this? Oh wait, I see what we need to do. Redo this level. We have to go up here. And then when we get here, the knight falls like this. Aha. We had to go up here and then reach. Because from here we can't get to this column immediately. It's too far, right? So now the knight can go here. And now we put the knight here, and yeah, that's how you do it. interesting. Alright, level 8. What you got? We have a rook. So rooks on the bottom just can never get up, basically. Because they'll just fall back down. Now, what are these little dashes? Oh, that's... Oh, wait. Oh, you can move through the dashes. And they fall onto it. So it's like an invisible platform, kind of. So we go here, go on here, get to this platform, fall down, go up here, and take the king. Nice. Alright, level 9. It seems we have to coordinate 3 pieces here for the first time. Actually, not the first time. We had the king and 2 bishops, right? Second time. So this rook by itself can't do anything because yes, there's a platform here, but then it just falls back down. And this king can't get up here unless we use the help of the bishop, so we need to get the bishop. I'm seeing that this king is stuck up here, and our king can't get up here even if the rook and bishop are here to help, because as far it can go is here. Or I guess it could jump here, but that's all. So, and the bishop can't get here because it has to come from the diagonal, and all the diagonals are blocked off. So the rook has to get to the king. Now, I'm assuming we put the bishop here, and then the king climbs up, like this. Oh, but the king can't exactly enter here, because when it goes here, it's gonna fall down. Alright, new plan. What if we bring the bishop over to help instead? Oh wait, that bishop is stuck now, hold on. King here, bishop, aha, what about like this? And then the rook comes up, and then we get it over here. Right, now we can, oh wait, I shouldn't have done that. Because now it's trapped here forever. Alright, let me redo that. Let me do the entire thing again, except not put the rook down there. Alright, we put the rook here, and then the bishop comes out to help again. It goes here, and then the rook comes like this. There we go. And then, I guess we use the king again as a stepping stool. And then the rook comes over, and then we take it. Nice. Alright, level 10. Oh man. The king's all the way up here. Okay. How are we gonna do this? Well, it has to be a rook or a knight. Because the bishop can't go because of this diagonal. The king can't go. Well, I guess the king could, but how? Like if the king was here and didn't fall off, then we can go up here and take it. I think what we have to do is like build a tower. Wait, how many pieces do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we build a tower of 6 pieces, wait, 3, 6. The top piece will be over here. And then we could have this rook and drop it here. So we'll go on top of it and then we can take the king. Okay, so that's what we need to do. So I guess the rook has to be at the bottom, or else how would it go to the top without any platforms, right? So we'll put the rook at the bottom. The king is probably the next, limited. And then the knight will be after. But how do we do this knight? Because it can't quite jump up there. Oh, I see what we need to do. We need to get this bishop to help. And then put the knight on top of it and then jump up. And the bishops can get to the top really easily because they can go up very easily. And then this one, wait, how do I do this? Oh wait, I need this bishop here, and then this bishop here. Nice. And the rook on top, and take the king. That was fun, very creative. Level 11, okay, they're introducing pawns. Now my king has to be the one that gets across, because these pawns are just gonna move forward. So first things first, get the king here. The pawn has to help us as like a stepping stool. And then, okay, we get the king up here first and then move the pawn so that the king can come over here. And then this pawn moves over and the king falls and takes the king. Nice. Level 12. We have a rook and a knight and 2 pawns. Let's see. The rook would, if the rook has to get involved, it has to go on one of these platforms. But the pawns are occupying the platforms. Or like the column of the platforms. So how would this work? Well, let's see what we can do with the knight. Knight can get up here. Let's see, if the knight were to get here, let's say, then it could get here by just jumping and falling. It can get here. And then what? The knight gets here. Oh, wait. If the knight gets there, then we can go up. And then like this. And then up, fall, and then like this. So all we need to do is get the knight over here. That means that we need to have a rook here. Oops. If we had a rook on this square right here where my knight is on, then the knight could jump up here and land. And then it can get here. And then we can do that thing I just talked about. How do we get a rook there, though? Oh, wait. Can't we just... Oh, yeah, we can just move the pawn all the way down. Move this pawn out of the way. And then bring the rook, like this. There we go. That was pretty tricky, but figured that one out. Oh, shoot. I forgot that was not... Okay, yeah, we need to do that again. Hold on. Let's move the rook. Get this here. Yeah, so we don't actually use this platform. We don't need it. It's just like a extra thing. So knight up here, here. Wait. What do I do now? Hold on, what? Oh wait, we need the knight here, where the pawn is at, so that we can jump up here. And then go. Okay, so I did the pawn one too many squares. Alright, so let's go to pawn all the way up here. Then get the... What? But then how do I get the rook up there? Like this? But then this pawn is still blocking the way. Wait a minute. Oh, I see. Hold on. We have to go pawn here. This precise square, because then the rook comes over like this, and it can still move over, and then the pawn goes here. That was clever, because look, if the pawn was here, then you can't move up here to go here. You can move there, but then that doesn't work, because the pawn would still be here. And if the pawn was there, and if the pawn was here, then once you go up, it's going to be blocking it. So the pawn has to be on this precise square. That's interesting. Oh no, did I mess it up again? Left. Oh, great. Okay, let me do this again. Okay, so from like here, oh, we just moved the knight up, and then we bring the rook. Okay, great. Now, I better not mess this up. And then we go pawn once, and then we move the knight here. All right. That was really fun. Honestly. Very nice. All right, level 13, and we finally have the most powerful piece on the chessboard. The queen. Okay, there is a lot of obstacles here. I'm seeing that the queen has to be on this diagonal for us to enter, and then we can just go here and take the king. If it has to be on this diagonal, it has to be either here or here. I see no way it would be here, but in order to be here, it has to be here or here or here. And to be here, it has to be here. And to be there, it has to be there. But how would we get it there? Ah, you can go here and then there. All right, and then we just do this path that we just set. That was pretty clever. Clever but simple. All right, level 14. we have a queen and a knight. The first problem is that the queen can't go anywhere on its own. It's just gonna fall down. It can go on this platform, but we're one short. So what is the actual path here? Oh, I see. You need to get the knight where the queen is right now, and then get the queen on top of it so that you can take the king. Okay, let's try to do that then. So knight here should be pretty straightforward, like this. The knight. Okay, we need to be there. So the queen has to be here, which can be done like this. The knight goes up. And then I see. Has to be like this. Wait, hold on. Oh wait, queen has to be here. Knight goes up here like this. But then how do we get the queen on this square? We would have to go here. How can we have it on the top square? Because wherever I put it on the top, it's just gonna fall down. And we can't have it here. I would have to do it like this, but then it just falls. That's interesting. Oh, what if I put it here? Wait, but that's the square that the knight needs to get on. Okay, hold on. Let's reset this. So, what is this block here? Is the knight supposed to somehow get there? I mean, maybe it is. Let's put the knight here. What do I do with the queen now? I mean, I can come up here. Put the queen there. How does this help? Okay, let's go back over here. Okay. Up here. Knight. The knight needs to get up. Oops. That was not what I meant to do. Okay. Alright, the knight needs to get up here without, like... The knight needs to get here while the queen is also here. But how's that possible? Hold on a minute. Here. Knight here. Oops, knight here. And do I put the knight here? And then get the queen here. I'm so close. Yeah, I'm so far. I don't understand. Alright, I've been spending some time on this. It's been like 5 minutes. And, this has really stumped me. Another path I was thinking, instead of the queen being here and the knight being here, is that the queen can be here, and the knight can be on top, and it can take. But I have no idea how that would even be possible, because when this knight gets here, it doesn't have anybody to, like... We can put the knight here, and then... Where would this knight be in the meantime? Like, if there was, like, something here, then we could put the knight there, and then after we bring the queen, we can have the knight hop up here, fall down, and take the king. But we don't have that. Oh! I get it! I get it. We have to do this. Okay, we have to combine the two ideas. Okay, let me make some sense here. We have to first do all of this procedure that I was talking about. How do I do this again? Hope I don't forget. Okay, knight here, all the way up here. And then, after the knight gets here, Now we can hop down here, and we use the queen as a placeholder, and now the knight falls down and then takes the king. That was really good. Yeah, that took me a while. All right, level 15. How many levels are there? There's, well, looking at the diagram, this is 12, so this is also 12, so there's 24 total. All right, I'm gonna try to get through levels 1 through 18, and if a lot of people like this video, then I'll do the last 6 levels, which are gonna be a lot more challenging, I'm guessing. All right, level 15, let's see. This knight, I guess it's not stuck, because it can go like this, but it can't really do a whole lot other than that. Okay, now it's just stuck down here. Let me reset, because we might actually need that knight for something. This king, that pawn is kind of useless because it's just gonna go up there. And this king can't really get up. So we're gonna need... Wait, how is this possible? Because the knight can't get to the king on its own. Like, if the knight could be here, then the king could, like, walk up. So how would this work? Because the king can't do anything by itself. And the knight... Oh, wait, does the pawn promote? Oh, it does. Okay, that makes a lot more sense, because, or else I would just, like, so it'd be impossible. All right, let's get a queen. It's the most obvious choice, but is it the correct one? Yeah, the king would have to be a stepping stool here, so that the queen can get in like this. But then what? If we can get the queen right here without it falling, then it can get in. But how would we do that? Oh wait, it doesn't have to. The knight can go in like this, and the queen can serve as a stepping stool. So it would have worked as a bishop, right? Wait, does a bishop not work for that one? Hold on. Can we not get a bishop? Why would this not work as a bishop? Ah, because this last stretch here has to be horizontal. And this part has to be diagonal. So it has to move like a bishop and then move like a rook. So if it's a rook, then it can't do this part. If it's a bishop, it can't do this part. That's why. And if it's a knight, wait, actually, would a knight work? Hold on. What did I click away? Let's try doing a knight, actually. Just a bonus challenge. Knight here. It would be really interesting if knight did work. Ah. It does. That's cool. So it can be a queen or a knight. Okay. We have a rook up here. If we move it, the pawn can promote. But if we move it, then it's gonna fall down. The big question is, what do we need such that we can get to this king? The obvious choice is like a knight, because there's so much walls here that it would make sense to get a knight. But I mean, I guess let's just try it and see what happens first. Hello, pawn? Promote? Pawn? Okay, there we go. I don't know what happened there. Alright, knight. I guess... Wait, how do I do this? I can't escape? Okay, I can. The knight would come in here, but then it gets stuck. What if I put the bishop here? How does that help? There's a 2-wall barrier here, so the knight cannot get in like this. But... what about that? If only... Okay, wait, let me redo this. What if we move the rook to, where do we move the rook? Let's see. Does it actually matter? Maybe it does. I don't know. I'm just gonna move the rook. Maybe let's get a queen. Get the queen out. I can get in here. But then what? We need like a rook. If we had a rook, then we can, if we had like this rook get in here, then we could do it. We could put the queen here. We can get the rook in like this. Put it here. Get the queen over. And it would stay on this spot because the rook is here. And they can go up here, fall, go here, and then take it. But what if I get a rook? Would that work? I wonder if moving this rook isn't correct. Wait, can the rook stay there and still like promote? I think this bishop is a little bit like, why is there space here? Does that have anything to do with it? Oh wait, the bishop can get in here. And the pawn can go up 2, not 1 because it would fall. Oh, and the bishop can go here. And then the rook can fall on the bishop, so you can actually use the rook. Okay. That's probably good. And we get a queen. And then we put the rook here so that the bishop can escape. Like this. We get the bishop here. And then we let the queen escape. And then we put it on like this, and then get the rook here, and then we do what I said. Queen here, and it bounces on the rook, and then like this. Whoops. There we go. Alright, that was good. Last 2 levels. Level 17, level 18, and I'll make a part 2 if a lot of people like it. Alright, looks like we have a new feature here, lock and key. So if I get this key, these 2 are gonna unlock, I'm guessing. That's what it looks like. How do you get the key? Because you have to get the key or else you can't get this king because it's trapped in here and we have no knights. The rook can't do anything by itself. It's just gonna fall. And it can't do anything. So the bishop has to do some work. How does the bishop get out? Because there's conveniently a block here that doesn't let the bishop go out like this. Huh. I guess... Hold on a minute. Wait, let's reset so that this bishop can get here. Put the rook here. And then... Oh, and then we put the rook here so that the bishop can do that. Interesting. But then... Now what? Rook here. And then we get the bishop on top of here. So that goes here. And then we can get this key. And then... Oh, and the rook comes up here. That's nice. And then the rook comes down and it takes the king. Yeah, that lock and key feature is pretty cool. Alright, last level of the video. The key is over here. I'm guessing we need to get it so that this pawn can promote. Because if it doesn't promote, then I don't see what we would be doing here. These paths kind of want... It makes me think that they want a knight, though. Because see, like, if we promote to a knight, it can fall down. It can go here, and here, and then here, and then here. But if we get, like, a queen or something, then it can get in here, and in here, sure, but then what? You can't do anything, right? So, I think we need to get a knight. But before we do all that, how do we get the key? Well, the rook can't do anything on its own. That's for sure. It's just gonna fall down to the bottom. We don't want that. So the bishops have to get out, but they're kind of trapped at the moment. So the rook's gonna have to come down, and then get the bishop out like this, so that the bishop can get out. Interesting. Oh, and then we have these conveniently placed blocks right here so that the rook can get out. And then the bishop gets out like this. Let's just move you for a second. Here. There for a sec. So the rook has to help out the bishops. Oh, and then the bishops... Oh, okay. And then the bishops, they make like a tower. And then the rook hops over the tower and he gets the key. And then now our pawn promotes to a knight, like I said. Like, okay, knight. And then here, boom, 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 boom. Nice. With that, we beat all 18 levels. Whoa. This level has a lot of keys and apparently also a lot of locks. So if you want to see me play this bizarre level and 6 other ones to finish off the game, please like the video. And if I get enough likes, I will do a part 2. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I thought it was a fun twist. Chess, but there's gravity and pieces fall down. Yeah, if you'd like to see more of this type of content, please let me know in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Like and subscribe!